We are live.
Perfect.
Yeah, there we
So,
go.
hello, guys. Have a good evening and welcome to the No Limit Tuesday. Losing isn't fun. With me, Sergi, aka Grayslayer, and Greedy Gary. So, today we will talk a bit about Apex tips and tricks, and we will be discussing. Actually, we can move on to the next slide.
Yeah.
Gary is leading today. So let's begin just briefly about us. We're a NoLimit ProGaming Academy. It's a European company focused on esports learning and teaching. So our main idea and main aim to help everybody who is really interested to go to the highest possible level. So, and we're ready to begin. So next slide.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. So today we will discuss four main topics. So first of all, very extremely satisfying video. I like the name of it. I hope you will like actually the video itself. Second one, Apex tip level 4. It means like kind of advanced one. Number 3, how to play Octane. So today we will discuss one of the most intriguing legend, the Octane. Especially, it's really popular right now. I think it will be really popular in the solos. And then we will discuss about the game reviews and analyze some of random streamers' gameplays from Ranked. We chosen one really interesting one to talk about it. And we will also discuss how to learn more. Okay, let's proceed.
Let's go. Okay, so the extremely satisfying video I have to show you is I just made it because I just wanted us to remind us why we love Apex so much. And it's all these little things that are extremely satisfying, and this is one of them. Let's go.
The music itself is pretty satisfying.
Yeah, it's very satisfying. Landing arc stars, so yeah, I just love when I land an arc star on someone. It's one of the most satisfying stuff ever. I'm just looking for someone.
And he was like, running.
Yeah, where are you?
Arc Star is really powerful one. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I can land arc stars better than peacekeeper shots apparently, so.
Well, take into account how extremely powerful they are. It makes sense actually.
It could make sense, yeah. It's really powerful. I just love it.
You could just do not shoot him. He will die anyway.
I just want to make sure. You know what's better than landing one arc star? 2 arc stars.
Simultaneously.
Yeah, on 2 different guys. Yeah, that was pretty much free. Yeah, that one I received though.
The last one, actually, you got one.
Yeah, the last one I got for myself, yeah. I mean, sometimes you gotta take them, you know, it's karma.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway,
it was really nice.
Yeah, no, it's so satisfying. It's a bit like landing a peacekeeper shot on someone who's
Taylor,
down.
We have the Taylor in the Facebook.
Okay,
actually,
nice.
This is the clips. Yes, we prepared it for you to give some tips and tricks of how to play Apex Legends and some ideas behind it. So yes, it's pre-recorded clips which we would like to show you and just talk about them a bit more and, well, discuss it if you would like to. So first of all, what I would like to add here, as we talk a lot during the course, that actually the nades are really powerful in the game. So we do really recommend everybody to use them as much as possible because it really gives you the competitive advantage, especially if you're using them correctly, as in this video. Gary used them pretty well. I love it. Actually, yeah, Arcstar provide you so many possibilities, like sticking on the wall, sticking on the players. It's just incredible.
Yeah, the reason why arc stars are usually more powerful than frags or than thermites is that they're really easy to put wherever you want to put them. Like the frags will roll away somewhere. They will just
Hey,
bounce on the
Bobster.
wall and go away. But arc stars, you can just stick them on a place, and then you know that this place is basically free of enemies. Like they can't move there because otherwise they're gonna get arc starred. So yeah. But this is why I wanted to show you and talk more about nades. And the apex tip today is how to nade. Obviously, there's a lot to say about this, so I'm not gonna be able to talk like everything about nades. But I've got some clips here I'm gonna show you of nades that I used pretty wisely, and I'm gonna tell you why and how.
Sure, sure. Let's watch it. Yes, Taylor. Thank you. If you have any questions, well, please share your thoughts, ideas, or ask any questions. We're live.
Yeah,
So
please ask. Yeah,
we're happy to reply on every questions you will ask.
for sure.
So how to nade? Ah, yeah.
Okay, so this first clip, actually, I'm gonna pause it because the action happens really, really fast. So you can see here, I'm coming up a zip line on that area, and I know that enemies are like behind here. My vision is blurred by the tree here. I know that there are two enemies here, and I'm basically engaging them in a 1v2. And I straight up come with arc stars, and I don't start shooting and then putting arc stars immediately because I have the surprise advantage. And if I would just start shooting,
they do not see you.
yeah, they don't know I'm here. I just sneaked up on them here. So the reason I throw arc stars is because whenever you throw arc stars on enemies, they're gonna have the visual on the HUD. They're gonna sometimes panic a little, but in anyhow they have to move. Because if they don't move and they try to duel you in a gunfight, like really out in the open like this, they're gonna take the arc stars. They're gonna be really easier to hit for me than I am to them when I'm strafing.
Bobster is actually making fun of you. It's only bronze 4.
Oh yeah, it's bronze 4 here, but I mean, it nonetheless it works like for any, like this tip would work for any level. So the reason why, yeah, I'm just throwing 2 arc stars. You can see I threw them about here and here, not both at the same place, because what I want is not actually to damage with them. If I do damage, then it's lucky, but what I want is to make my opponents run while I have some free shots on them. They cannot shoot at me back at the same time, to put it simply. So I actually managed to make one very low and to break the 2 shields. And then as they have to heal, I just grapple to their cover. I predict that they're gonna come here because it's the only cover around here. And as they're healing, I can just finish off really easily. So this is the power of nades. Like it's basically if we were 2v2 here almost.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next use of nades is, well, find players to play with and you can communicate with. And when you have a team you want to push and they're on a building on some places, you have a Pathfinder, Octane, or anything that have like high movement. And I'm playing Lifeline now, so I don't have really high movement. I don't have escape, so I stay back while my Pathfinder is pushing. It could also be Wraith or even maybe Bangalore, but Wraith or Pathfinder here are the best for this. And while he pushes, because they can
go
escape
back very fast.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Tyler actually had some nice idea about the nades, that it's a very good way of use them from opponents to loot the loot boxes and the reshielding. So it's also
Yeah, for sure. So I just throw my nade here as I know my Pathfinder is pushing, and it really helps him to be in there because he's basically 1v2 right now, so it's a bit complicated. But as you can see here, I broke the shields and then I started pushing immediately to help. And obviously my Pathfinder will not take any damage from my nades, and it's just free for him to push that team. So yeah, basically when you push a team, especially when you're on a zipline and stuff like this, you need to have a lot of nades. Just always carry as many nades as you can because they're really helpful. Now I just wanted to show you that we're chasing one guy that's running, is a Bangara running from the smoke. And basically one of the great thing about nades is you can zone people away from their escape. Or I really want to emphasize the fact that they're really used to zone people out of areas and usually not directly deal damage to them. Because obviously when you're playing bronze, some people will take the damage from your nades, but as you go higher in the ranks, people will know how to dodge nades. So how you want to use them is just zone people away. So now I predict that the Bangala who's running away from my Pathfinder, and you can see I was right because the Pathfinder doesn't even get it. I know that she was going right while it's the only cover.
Yeah.
So yeah. Obviously now another way to use nades, and this is very obvious, but it shows how important it is important to have nades in your inventory. Most of the time people carry too many heals or too much ammo.
Absolutely.
And you need to remind yourself that you usually only need one stack of each heals and not that many stacks of ammo. Like for example, now I'm carrying 320 light ammo, which is a lot. I could have one stack less and one stack more of nades. But sometimes people go up to like 500 light ammo, and this is extremely useless because you're not gonna use all of that ammo in one fight.
It's not possible to use that.
No, usually not.
Definitely.
So you really want to carry more nades, guys, like really do, for this kind of situation where people are stuck in the tunnel here and the zone is behind them. And so I throw some thermites, and this is extremely satisfying as well. So much damage with the thermites. And there we go. Okay, this is just one trick. When you throw nades from far away, you need to try and throw them in a... Okay, let me do this. You need to try and throw them kind of like this and not like this. Why? Because the frag nade will take 3 seconds to explode. So it will go like 1, 2, 3, and there it will explode, and people will not have time to see the nade on their HUD. Whereas if you throw it like this, like say your enemy is around here, it goes 1, 2, and then it lands, it bounces, people have time to see it on their HUD, on you know, like it appears.
The only one thing you should get used to throwing in like this and this trajectory.
Exactly. And actually,
it's not easy to get used, but it's really powerful.
It's very powerful. And actually, there's a technique that I don't have on video here, but let's say this is a building, for example, like the one in containment, and say you are about here, and there's enemies on the roof here, and they don't have visual on you right here. What you can do is throw nades like this really high. Yeah, you almost point up at the sky, and the nade will go directly on them, and they absolutely have no time to see it. Like the only way they can see it is if they actually see you throw it. And I've gotten myself outside of really bad situations a lot like this.
Especially on the highly ranked, I think it's used pretty...
Yeah, it's very good.
Widely.
Yeah, it's very good to throw it like this. And right now you can see that, yeah, I just kill someone like this.
It was nice.
Now we're playing as a team of 3 people here, and we have some good communication, and it's the last squad, and we actually spotted them and they didn't. So what we're gonna do is do a massive throw of nades all at the same time. We coordinate and we just throw all our nades at the same time, and
it's incredibly powerful.
And
especially when you do it in the teams, it's just it's almost impossible actually to survive that.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna see in this clip how impossible it is to survive for them.
Okay, nading and pushing. Go before they get up somewhere. Oh, I broke them 2 shields.
Yeah, now they're very spread out. They're lasered, like my mate says. and P20 and finish. Like that was extremely
Yeah,
easy.
nice.
That was very easy just because of the nades. My teammates, like I saw my teammates were a bit further back and I went a bit on the right, so I naded a bit more in front while my teammates were probably nading in the back. So they had no ways to dodge the nades. Like only Wraith Pathfinder could dodge them maybe, but they just didn't react fast enough. So this is a really good way to do it.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. So that's
Nice
it.
videos.
But anyway, I would like basically. Okay, I'm gonna enjoy the black screen here to make some more drawings. But basically, using nades, like for example, let's say you have an enemy on a rock like this, and he's behind that rock. This looks like a big poo, but yeah, whatever. He's behind that rock and he's in cover. You don't have visuals. Basically, what you wanna try and do is maybe throw one nade here. I'm gonna one nade here.
But wait, where you are? So you're on the right?
No, you're like facing
You
here.
just facing it.
Like,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
this is your gun.
Okay.
Amazing drawings.
P2020.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Okay. So you throw one on the left.
You throw one on the left, and then you throw directly one on the right, maybe, or and then the enemy's zone. He has to come out. Maybe he'll come out that way, and then you can aim at him. But what you can do is just throw one on the left, and then you can straight take your gun out and ADS, and you'll kind of know that he will try to escape this way.
Absolutely, like 90%.
But basically, this is how you have to try and understand nades. Is if you throw one here, then you know that this area is compromised for the enemy. So then you throw another one here, and
this is what you call zoning, okay?
Yeah, this is what I call zoning. So I know that my opponents will not take the nades, but I want them to not have time to pick at me, and they have to run in some place where I can pick at them and do some damage to them and maybe knock them. But you don't just want to kill people with nades usually. It's just a tool to make your opponents just in a bad spot, to put them in a bad spot.
Nice.
So yeah, that's it about nades.
Thank you, Gary.
No problem.
It's pretty interesting.
No problem.
Epic steep. Here, level 4. Okay. So today we will discuss the next legend, Octane. I love Octane. It's actually one of my favorites, even though I'm not playing too much. Unfortunately, I do not have enough time. But I love Octane because it's really fast. But it's a bit, I think it's a bit like more solo character.
Yes, you're right. Octane is a pretty one of the selfish legend, let's say, because his only ability that others can use is the jump pad. But because, and I'll talk more about this later, but because Octane is a very flanking legend, and like he's a legend that's gonna go a bit solo to try and disturb the enemy lines because he's so fast. So usually he will use his jump pad just for himself anyway. So most of the time you won't use a jump pad to make all your team reach a place like you would with the zipline, but it would be more a tool, like a personal tool, so that Octane can like take an angle, a different angle, a bit like the Pathfinder's grapple, basically. Yeah.
Actually, I saw so many funny movies with this jump pad.
Yeah.
When the people do not want to take, when your teammates want to take something, you just throw it in front and
yeah,
boom!
You can do that.
And she gets boom.
Big
it's mine. Big gun. Yeah.
Big gun.
It's really funny. I love it.
It's very troll. Okay, so in the same way, I've prepared a video with some plays that I did with Octane, and I can just give you some tips on the way. But first, let's look at his abilities. So his passive, Swiftman. So when you don't take any damage, you will restore health over time. Basically, what's not written here is that you will restore 1 health per second. So it's pretty slow.
It's not that much, definitely.
It's not healing. It's slow, but it's still fine. It compensates a lot for the Q.
Octane is great if you're actually working with team, especially with Pathfinder. Yes, Taylor, it depends. It depends on your team, definitely. It depends on the strategy your team choosing. But yes, Octane can be a really good character in the team play as well. And Gary actually will show it right now, I think.
Yeah. I'll show you how I think Octane is supposed to be played as a team. Because all the clips I will show you are played with a team I usually play with. So another thing to say about the passive is that it says while not taking damage, but actually there's a 4 or 5 seconds cooldown before you start healing again. So if you take any damage, you will not start healing right after. You have to wait 4 or 5 seconds until you start healing again. So it's definitely not an in-combat tool to heal.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not that powerful. It's just here to compensate with the Q, which is team, and it makes you move 30% faster for 6 seconds.
I love it.
Yeah, it's very
Especially
fun.
sliding, it's
Yeah.
It's like the rocket.
Yeah, and it does cost some health to use, about 10 to 15. I'm not actually sure about the exact number. And the best thing about it, apart from the move speed, is that you are not slowed while it's active. So any slow. So when you're walking inside water, you won't be slowed while everyone else will be. When you're
So it
hit,
gives it a lot of additional advantages. Yeah.
When you're hit by Bangala's ultimate, you won't be slowed. When someone hits you with an arc star, you can use it and the slow will go away. What other situations? Well, I think that's pretty much it. But anyway, like any slow will not be.
When you go through the Watson's the fence, I think the same.
Yeah, exactly. Any slow, and also it's important to note that for those of you who know what bee hopping is, I'm not gonna explain it now because it's not the point. But Octane is the only one who can heal while bee hopping. If you use the tactical while healing, you can bee hop at the same time, and it's the only legend who can do that since they patched the bee hopping while healing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because actually the one of like 5 patches before the current one, they forbid people to use Bunny Hope. So yes, the only one legend can use it. It's only Octane with tactical.
Yeah, because his reductions to slow will work with the with this, so you can still use that, which is a very powerful tool, very powerful since nobody else can use it, and which also makes Octane a pretty high skill level if you really want to master it. And then moving on.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, it's a big thing for him. It was a big buff for him if you think about it, because he's the only one who can use it. But then it's only when you use Q, so you have to have very good timing and sometimes a bit of luck, to be honest, like as to when you're gonna use it. And then the ultimate, the launchpad, you guys probably already know everything about this. It's one of the funniest ability in the game. So it's the jump pad that anyone, even your enemies, can use to get catapulted in the air. And anyone can use it. You can use any Octane's launch pad, and you can also destroy them. You have to shoot at it a little bit. You have to do maybe 200 damage, 150. It's actually quite easy to destroy it. So remember that you can destroy it when a jump pad you think is not going to help you. And actually I have more things to say about the launch pad before I start showing you my videos. And it's going to come right there. So just a few things to know about the launch pad is that you have to walk on it and then you will start jumping. And then here I just launched on the supply bin. I go back, and now when I'm gonna jump, I'm gonna take the jump pad, and right after the animation and the sound, I'm gonna press jump. And look at what it does. I'm gonna jump much higher and much farther. So it's a very, very simple trick, but it's very important to use, and most of the time you're gonna use it pretty much all the time when putting a jump pad, like although sometimes you might want to just reach like close destinations with it, but most of the time you want to use this little trick. So basically it's simple, you just press space right after you landed on it, and not before. Like a lot of people, including myself, sometimes miss the jump pad by just jumping over it, but yeah, yeah, that's not cool. But yeah, you just press space. Yeah.
Taylor adds up that to add up onto the nade, this is that you can shoot grenades off launch pad in a great way.
That's true. Yeah, that's something I haven't actually used that much while playing Octane, because it's very tricky to do, and I don't think it's very useful. To be honest, I think it's
well, at least to know that.
But it's good to know. Like, yeah, you can throw any projectile at the jump pad, and it will bounce off it. Another thing to know about the jump pad is air strafing. So I'm not gonna talk about it.
Air control.
Yeah, air control. Octane, if you wanna play Octane, you're gonna have to learn this, and then it's a skill that translates a lot to Pathfinder, and also any other legend. Whenever you're jumping off a cliff or sliding and jumping, you can use air strafing a lot in your movements, and it will help you move through fights. It's really good trick. But what is air strafing first is when you jump, you can actually control the direction you go in, and then reach places you wouldn't be able to reach otherwise. And the way you're going to do air strafing is whenever you jump on the jump pad here, you go to the direction you want to go, and at the same time you're going to aim at the same direction. And here I'm going right and then left
as well.
Yes, you should strafe. Basically, like if you were strafing on the ground and still going forward for the speed, and you look at the direction. So I'm gonna use this. I like those drawings. So there's the jump pad. You jump on it. You press W and D.
Or if you use the joysticks, just the...
Yeah, I'm talking about keyboards, but it applies to joysticks as well. And then at the same time with your mouse, you will go, well, you will go a bit on the right, like this, slowly going with your mouse on the right, and it will do the movements that I just showed you on the video. So, up.
Okay.
So here on the left, and here I'm just going right, and then back on the left.
It's interesting. So Apex Legends physics allows you to control it during the air?
Yes, it's a little trick you have to practice. It's very simple, like I explained, but maybe you want to just play Octane in a game and go in a place where you know nobody will be. You put a jump pad and in an open area, and then you try it, like you try and practice with it, see how far you can go, see how much you can rotate, and then you can translate it into the game.
Cool. It gives you actually a lot of advantages.
Yeah, it's very important to know how to use, because otherwise whenever you're gonna take a jump pad, you're gonna have to position yourself right straight to where you want to go, and then also your movement will be much more predictable, because you just go straight like this. But when you're strafing into the air, sometimes it will allow you to dodge bullets as well. So it's a very important skill to learn with Octane.
Is it only on Octane, or for example, if another legend is using Octane's jump
anyone
pad?
can air strafe. Yeah, anybody can air strafe. Yeah,
perfect.
Just the two most important legends to know this skill with is obviously Octane, because you're gonna use the jump pad much more than other people, and Pathfinder, because you're gonna be inside into the air a lot, and when you grapple you can also use this trick a lot. So yeah. Okay, I'm moving on to the clips now. What I will do is just give some tips about how you might want to play Octane, and tell you a bit more about my philosophy about this legend, how I think he should be played, and there we go. So now it's early game, we're just pushing inside the team. I think the sound is a bit high.
Yeah.
There we
A
go.
bit.
Yeah. So nothing special now, I just kill someone, I go back into cover, and now I know that the rest of the enemy team, the 2 people, know that I'm on this corner. So what I'm gonna do with Octane is I'm gonna use my Q to reposition extremely quickly and peek at the enemy team to have some information. So there we go. And then we just surprise each other with Gibraltar. So with my movement speed, Octane with the movement speed with the steam pack is very
He cannot even move, the mouse.
exactly exactly like
So
he was really surprised, and I was expecting someone a bit more here than he was because I'm so fast, and it's extremely hard to hit an Octane when he's moving that fast, especially with a flick weapon. So that was pretty much an easy kill, and there it goes. This is exactly what I was talking about just before, except I'm facing an Octane now and I'm trying to kill him with my wingman. Before, a little bit of airstrafe here. I know he's on the left, so I airstrafe a bit on the left to surprise him, to be a bit more next to him. And I'm just gonna put it a bit more before. Right now we can't see very well on the video, it's not that good quality for some reason, but when Octane is using a steam pack, there's a little green light behind him. So when you play Octane, you want to be aware of this, because when you go, say, around a corner, people can notice that you went around this corner because there's a green light behind you. A bit like when Wraith uses a Q, there's a blue light behind her. This one is just a straight line and it's green. So now it's just to show you this Octane in front of me is using his steam pad and strafing a lot, and he's so fast. Like my potato aim is just very bad here because he's so fast, it's really hard to hit. And actually we were 3 people, like 3 decent players shooting at him, and we took a very long time to kill him. So
because he was really fast.
Yeah, it's very fast, very hard to hit, so be aware of this. Yeah, on this clip I see someone out in the open, I call him and then I start shooting, and then you can notice on the HD here I'm getting hit from the side. So what I do is I don't hesitate and I instantly put my Q to go back into cover very fast, or I can be safe.
By the way, is shield cells are applied also faster with the ability?
No.
Ah. Yeah, it's a pity.
No, that would be maybe a bit too much.
It would be too much. I agree.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It's just movement speed, basically. But you can do anything while you're using your Q. You can reload. You can do any movement. Use any item. Just the animations will be a bit different. You have to learn how to play with this. And yeah, so now I'm in cover. So the Q is also it's an offensive as well as a defensive tool. Right now I'm using it defensively. And now I'm noticing that the people are up here, and I'm gonna use it very offensively here. While they're focusing on my team, they're getting poked. And they don't expect me here because I'm so fast. So yeah, this is the way I play with Octane. Very aggressively like this, like trying to take angles and rush into people. Abuse my mobility, so I can be able to take fights really easily. So obviously when you play Octane, you want to be very confident, and you want to have, I think you want to have a good aim, because you're gonna take so many fights like rushing into people. Because Octane, that's also the reason why I wouldn't play Wingman like I'm doing now with Octane that much. I would play with SMGs or LMGs much more, because you can fight in front of people and just take another angle and try to deal as much damage as possible as you can before they can notice you. This is basically the same here with third partying here.
Nice shot.
That was surprised me as well. And now I'm getting very punished by my position, trying to kill someone from here. They know I'm here now.
Open.
Yeah, there's a lot of people shooting at me. So what I do instantly is, like I said, I nade so that I get some peace. And then I take an angle that they won't expect here as much. And because I'm so fast, They're not waiting for me to be here that fast. I know it's very easy, and as you can see, because I went into that angle and my team stayed in the other angle, like right in front, I just distracted them, and then the last one was shooting at me, and then my team could just push very easily without, like, with no problem. So this is the way I like to act as an Octane, is be a distraction to the enemy team by taking different angles. Octane is also a very strong melee player at the beginning of the game, because his animation feels right for a start, but also when you use his Q, his team pack, it's extremely hard to hit him, and you're going to melee faster as well. You can hit people faster. So Octane is the best legend for melee fights at the beginning of the game. So again, like I said, it's legend you want to be confident with, because taking melee fights...
If you would like to have some Mortal Kombat, use the Octane and just move on,
yeah, definitely. So like I see here, I see that this Pathfinder is landing on the same roof, and he's got a gun, so I just don't hesitate and I kick him out like this very easily. And now I have the advantage because I can loot the house, and like unfortunately I don't find a gun. But he's kind of scared now. You can feel he's scared, so yeah.
He ran away, I guess, yeah?
Yeah. And also Octane, at when you land in a place, you really want to look out around where people are going to be landing, because with your Q, typically you're going to be able to loot more places. Or if you land in a place and you get a shield and 1 or 2 guns, and you predict the way people are, like the place enemies are gonna be, you can queue and just rush them very fast, and they're gonna be extremely surprised, because they're only gonna have time to loot 1 room of a house and you're gonna be into the face. So this is a good way to use Octane. Obviously here I can't do it because I don't have a gun, so I just use my Q to try and find some loot, and as soon as I have it, I go back to help. Now obviously it's not ideal because I only have a shotgun, so I instantly use my Q. I don't mind about the health it's taking, because I just want to get closer to cover and just get closer to people, because I only have 1 shotgun, that's it. And the same, I know that my Pathfinder is calling out the last guy, so I stop the revive. I Q again, and I just rush inside, like I just rush into that guy because he's distracted by my Pathfinder, and I can just rush him very fast and surprise him and put a lot of pressure on him. So it's basically the same as before. I just rush into people when they're already distracted, and when they're not distracted, I try and take another angle to distract them myself for my team. This is another trick with the Q. So when you're inside the water, like I said, you're not slowed, and then I use my shield battery and see how fast I move inside the water while healing.
In the water with the shield?
Yeah, while healing, so you want to use that like a bit like this for sure. Now I'm gonna move on a bit more with like some plays with the jump pad. And the way I like to use it, and like I was saying, like how it's a tool that most of the time you're gonna use it just for yourself. So here we see a team that have a very good position. We poke them a bit, but obviously we're probably not gonna get a knock like this. So
yeah, they have a better position, definitely.
Yeah, and it's hard to get a knock at this distance. It doesn't make sense to fight too long like this around. We can get third-partied as well. So we make the decision to push, and while my team goes on the right here, I go to the left, I put my jump pad down, and then I know they're inside, so I just pick out.
They wasn't expecting you.
And they weren't expecting me so fast again. Like, it's a lot about timing with Octane. And also the jump pad probably makes less noise than the zipline, and actually I have a video to show how to use it sometimes to just land directly inside of people. That's a small trick with the jump pad. You can just throw it and then do some air strafing to correct the direction, and then you just go on the zipline directly. The reason I did this is just because my team was pushing. I was a bit further away and I just wanted to catch up with them so that we would be fighting the team at the same time, and we can put pressure at the same time to that team we were pushing. And then I instantly use my Q, and again, the enemy Octane probably should know better than this because he's Octane as well. But because I'm playing very aggressive, and he was not expecting me again here, so we won that fight again very easily. Yeah, this is the clip I was telling you about the jump pad, and how you can use it to jump on people and take a very unexpected position on them. And the problem is a lot of people react to sound. So what I do here is I just jump. We know the team is going inside, and when I land, I start crouching instantly, and I'm not making any noise because the only sound I made here for the enemy team, they're not gonna hear the jump pad, it's too far away. The only sound they're gonna hear is the kind of thump when I land. It's not that big of a noise, and a lot of players will not have the information that you're on the roof here. And then I start crouching, I make no noise, and now I can laser that lifeline very easily. And that's it. So when you land really close to people to surprise them in this kind of situation, you can just land and start crouching instantly, and most of the time you will be stealthy. Yeah. Right now I put my jump pad here because we want to push where Balzac 88 is. Right here you can see on the screen, he's here, he's pushing a lifeline on the roof. But unfortunately we get surprised in our back here. So by Mirage, our Wraith almost dies. So the jump pad, obviously, I wasn't planning on using it like this, but I just improvised, and instead I took it to push the Mirage from that angle. And you can see, I'm gonna show it again, in the air, I used air strafe because obviously the jump pad would take me very far away, maybe inside the water. But I air strafe to compensate, and I can actually land on that side of Mirage. So obviously that was not the best play, it was really risky.
It was like a Pathfinder when you just jump to kill.
Yeah, pretty much, almost like Pathfinder, yeah.
But a bit more risky, yeah, you're right.
A bit like with Pathfinder, I would have just taken the roof here and picked down. But it was just to show you like air strafing can be used in many different ways like this. Yeah. So for this clip, we have the high ground. We see actually the two teams are landing around here, and we know the last team is here. So now I'm gonna take the jump pad, and at the same way, I don't hesitate one instant. I know my two teammates are gonna be shooting at them from this angle from up top. So I just take an angle behind them. And again, they don't expect me here. Now I use my Q because, like I said, it's very hard to aim at Octane, who's I know I'm kind of 1v1 here because my teammates are a bit farther back and I just have to win that duel. So I just put my Q, I'm moving very fast, and it's easier to duel that lifeline for me. This clip I wanted to show you to actually kind of prove something. So this squad we're about to wipe is kind of a semi-professional squad players, and they have like 15,000 kills on Pathfinder, like 9,000 kills on Bangalore. Insane stats like this.
Numbers.
Yeah, not many players have those, and we know it's them. They were the champions. We just noted their names, and we made like we made it. We were just like, okay, let's fight those guys, see how it goes. And it's just to show you how high ground and team communication can be very important. And you're gonna see how easily we win against a team that has such crazy stats and so many hours of play. Just by taking high ground like this. And obviously they're being extremely confident because it's a pub game. but still.
I don't think that's them though. They're gonna be third partying us.
It was.
It was?
Yeah, it's the bad one.
Yeah, that was my shadow.
I can't see them.
Just shooting at my shadow. Wow.
Let's push this.
And now you see the coordination here. I make the call to, I see Pathfinder going away with his Q because he's under pressure, and we know that there's only 2 players down there. We don't really need to heal right now. And I make the call to push Lifeline, and instantly the 3 players in our team shoot at her and she's instantly dead. So I'm going a bit going a bit off like Octane's plays, but basically this is how you're meant to play as a team, and this is how you're meant to play as Octane. Like I just put the jump pad down here, down to go on the building, and Mirage could join us thanks to the jump pad as well. So that was an example on how also you can carry all your teams to the high ground very, very fast.
Snapper boy.
This is also another way to use the jump pad as a team, and we're actually planning this from really far away. We talked about it before taking the zipline. So we say that our Pathfinder, who's the sniper in our team, is just distracting this team that he's shooting at on the bridge. So he's distracting them right now, and I'm telling my Watson that I'm putting the jump pad here.
Oh yeah. And you go fast. I nade, you go fast.
I'm nading, and then she goes.
One shot on your right.
And then I go directly with the jump pad, and we just finish them off really easily. So this is another way.
Played.
Yeah, this is a very good way to play with Octane. You have a distraction at one point on the map somewhere, which is Pathfinder, who can join up really fast the fight if he wants to. And then you have Octane and another legend pushing on the side. They're not expecting it, they don't know we're here. And with the jump pad, we're directly on their face, and the same way as before, we're using nades so that they don't, like if Watson was just landing there without nades, she could get lasered in one instant if the 2 players just called her. But because there's nades, they have to focus on dodging nades, and they cannot really kill Watson. She didn't take 1 damage here.
Yeah, it was really well played.
Yeah. Okay, now less serious things. This is one trick with Octane that you can do with the jump pad. You just put it directly below you and you don't move, and you're just gonna bounce on it all the time, infinitely. So this was a glitch before. It would reset the timer. So you know the timer, the return to the battle timer.
Yeah.
Before it would get resetted, so you could just stay forever like this, but now you can't anymore. And it's not very useful, of course. It could be useful sometimes in the last circle. You can put the jump pad in the last circle and you can just bounce everywhere while a lot of teams are fighting, and you're...
But on the contrary, while you're bouncing, you are easy to shoot, you know?
You are, but people will not see you as a threat, and they won't really be shooting at you. They will be focusing on the people that are like on the same
ground,
on the same horizontal plan as them. So sometimes it can be a trick that you can use very rarely, but sometimes, you know. All right, so that was it about Octane. But
pretty well.
To resume, to summarize it a little bit, Octane is an extremely aggressive legend. I would say he has to be played very aggressively. It's just the way you play it, really. I wouldn't play it any other way. It's to me, it's all about either distracting the enemy team with an angle that they won't be expecting to be shot at, so that you buy time for your team to push, or when your team is distracting them, to go again at another angle and to try and get 1 knock, and then you can easily escape with your Q or just finish them off if you have a very good situation. But yeah, very, very aggressive legend overall, and just be confident when you play Octane, and I think your skills will get better. And also just practice a lot using the airstrafe skill. Try to airstrafe a lot, it's very important. and just learn how to do it. Yeah, it will help you with other legends as well.
Okay. Thank you very much, Gary. It was really interesting.
No problem. It's not my best
lot
legend,
of
but yeah.
tips and tricks, but well, a lot of really interesting tips and tricks. Thank you very much.
No problem.
So right now we will move on to the gameplay review. It's also one of the really important skills which we learn in our academy with our students. This is incredibly important to learn and to know how to do the reviews of your own games and also of the games of your teammates. And in this case, we just chosen randomly the videos from the streamers. This streamer plays in Platinum, so we will review his game. I hope he do not mind about it. So let's do that.
Yeah, I didn't have time to message him, but I mean, if
no worries.
If you see the video, please tell us if that bothered you, and I won't be using your videos anymore. All right, let's go on to it. The macro show, yeah. I mean, he's pretty good looking and everything, and he streams. I'm sure he's fine with it.
And just one more thing. During the video reviews, it's really important to record whole gameplay from the very beginning till the very end, so you have more background of the of the reviews.
Yeah, exactly. You need to record everything, and then try to watch the game. When you do this every day, you might want to just focus on some points, but right now what we're gonna do is watch the whole thing, maybe skip some steps. But also previous weeks I focused on the micro mechanics a lot more, like movements, aiming, positioning. But now, because it's a Platinum 4 game, and rotating and positioning and all those skills, like the team skills, are much more important than solo skills.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna be looking a lot more at this.
Kind of like a little ways away.
And there's only one fight happening in this game anyway, so what we want to understand is how to make that, like, they're gonna lose a fight at the end of the game, and what we want to understand is how to make that fight easier or not happen, because they didn't have to take that fight.
Watch out for the dinosaur tail.
I'm going right for the dinosaur tail. I don't know about you, dude.
So first of all, they do not look behind, so they don't want
at this
or whatever.
At this point, his two mates, so Bangalore and Watson, should probably be looking around and giving info on where teams are going, and not only if a team is landing with them in containment, but they should know if a team is going to pit, how many teams are going to slum lanes, yeah, and how many teams are going to artillery and all those places, because you want to make a plan afterwards, like, okay, we're gonna loot containment, and where do we go afterwards? And you're gonna see they don't do this, and you can really feel it in the looting phase. The looting phase is it's horrible, basically. They spend so much time in here, and they don't make plans, and they have no idea where they're going.
Randoms in this game deserve life.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's so excessive. So excessive, Macro. I have 2 Mozambiques, we're gonna win. Double Mosey, dude, double Mosey.
I think I hear some mommy.
I'm coming as fast as lightning.
Another spot land here or no?
I don't think so, but you can check.
I might be tripping then.
Okay, so now this is perfectly fine. He finds a lot of Mozambiques. He just swaps 1 Mozambique for the G7 Scout. You probably wanna fight.
He not take the nades, actually.
I think he's gonna take it right now. Yeah, he does.
Okay.
And he picks every hop up he can find, because he doesn't know exactly what weapons he's gonna play with right now.
Harriet Hopper.
Now the only issue is they're not very organized in the looting. Like, they're both in the same place here, and they should be trying to loot this place as fast as possible, and you have to trust your teammates to ping the items that anyone else is gonna be maybe using, and you have to communicate about what you need and what you're looking for, and maybe it's a weapon, maybe it's attachments, maybe it's ammo or whatever. but you have to communicate and you have to ping a lot of items for your teammates at the beginning, because you just don't want to visit the same places because you lose a lot of time. You're a team, so just communicate about it.
Take those on accelerant for Carson case.
And now you can see blue. The blue is going at the same place as orange, and they're looking at the same place.
Sick. Well, guess what? I got you for you, dude.
And now he's pinging the extended light, which is perfectly fine. Even if it's gray at the beginning, you just want to ping a lot of items and all the attachments, really. You just don't want to visit the same places.
I'm taking it. It's too late. But I'm dropping all my light stuff. Yeah.
Now he's taking the longbow. To be honest, like I said, like we explained earlier with Octane, because he's playing Octane, I would not play Octane with a sniper. I would give the sniper to Watson, and definitely give it to Watson, because she's gonna be the one staying back most of the time. She doesn't have mobility. She has to play much safer. So I would just give it to Watson, and Octane needs to play very aggressive weapons and LMG and SMGs, really, or even shotguns sometimes. But yeah.
I'm a longbow master, dude.
But he's the longbow master, so.
If I see a wingman, though, I'm gonna...
And now you can see he's going inside the house where all his team is going, and blue is going up there, but green has already been there. And they're just losing another very precious seconds. Like right now, they should have looted everything, and they should already be rotating to a place where they know that no other team is, or if they're looking for a fight because their loadout is not that bad, they could also be going. But now they're just losing a lot of time.
Don't hurt him. Hey, we don't want Pete on our asses.
And actually, he's moving on the very bad position. Very open in the river.
Yeah, now they're all very spread out, and they somehow missed the skull piece out. So basically, it's just the first looting phase that's very, very bad here. And they're losing a lot of time compared to teams that are going to be planning. Like now he's just going here to check if it was looted, but they should have just known, because they could have looked if team landed here.
Carson, I'm going back to you.
So yeah, that in platinum and higher,
I say we go the other way towards...
one of the most important things is the early game where you're gonna
I meant towards that direction.
where you're going to be landing in somewhere safe.
It's like you hurt my feelings.
So that they did that, and that was fine. But then now they're all over going in some places they haven't looted for some reason in containment. And I mean, this is very slow now. They're losing a lot of time. Now he's even swapping Havoc, so it's all very confused, this looting phase. He's swapping Havoc, but if you remember, he dropped a level 3 energy mag. So if you find a level 3 energy mag, you might just want to find an energy weapon. Your teammates can ping it. He could have done it much before. And now he's going all over again to all the places to find the ammo. So you can see that so much time here they lost here.
They still
so
here.
much time. Yeah, it's very, very, very long. At this point, they should have looted 2 areas maybe. Or maybe just looted 1 and try to third party a team, or
find a nice place.
Or find a nice place to camp.
Position.
Yeah, and take a good position to hold teams off the ring. They could have done a million better things than just looting all the place all over again. So now they're finally getting out, rotating. This place wasn't looted, like most of the time this place is not looted, so you can go containment and all the way up here. You can also loot the connector right here. Now what he's doing is, I think he doesn't want to play the longbow with the long scope. So first of all, the 4-8 times sniper scope can be extremely good. You just have to look at the map at this point to decide which scope you're gonna be using, because maybe the 4 times 8 times when you camp a place is gonna be extremely useful to poke people. And now he's a bit struggling with with
Yeah,
his
sure, what to
inventory,
choose.
and actually it's a good time to talk about the inventory. So he's using a longbow, and because of that he picked all the heavy ammo he could find, and now he's got 4 stacks of heavy ammo. But you're never gonna use 4 stacks of heavy
Too
ammo
much.
with the longbow. At most you want to keep 2 stacks, maybe even 1 sometimes, but two stacks is fine. And when you know that, you're just gonna have 2
Depending
stacks.
on how much you will pick.
Yeah, exactly.
You will pick a lot, maybe 3 will be good.
Yeah, but right now he's got 2 shield cells, so he's not gonna be able to pick a lot and trade damage. So you just pick usually 1 stack or 2 stacks is fine. And the issue now is his inventory is full because of that, and he cannot be very fast. He's like struggling with his scope to try and take the other one, and because what he wants to do now is have this scope in his inventory and have a shorter scope in his attachment, so he can swap back. But because his inventory is full, he's struggling a lot. So if he had only 2 heavy stacks, he could just pick the scope with the alternate pickup. So it's a key you can bind, and when you use it to pick something up, it doesn't go into your attachment, even though it can, but it goes straight into the inventory. So it can be useful in this kind of situation. It's called alternate pickup, and a lot of people are not using it. Now you can see it's, again, a lot of time wasted, not for much.
I need a stock in
And he still has all this heavy ammo. And now he's dropping them as he's looting. So he lost a lot of time looting it and then dropping it. So what you need to do is just, okay, I have a longbow. I loot 2 stacks of heavy, and then you remember, stop looting heavy ammo. You don't need it. Just stop looting it. Just keep 3 stacks in your inventory for healing items, for nades, or maybe for energy ammo here. But just stop looting it. Just try and remember. Like
oh, there we go.
at the beginning it will be very hard to do, because you just have this habit of looting everything you can find. But as you go along and you try to remember every game to stop looting at too much ammo, you will remember it, and you will find that you have many more nades and that you will be using them much more. Okay, so right now they're noticing an enemy around here, and they don't have that much info. He's running, but he could just be ahead of his team. It doesn't mean that he's alone. And now they're pushing very aggressively, but you can see he's landing in a place where he doesn't have a very good advantage here. This is not very good. He's going up and he doesn't have much cover. And then this is kind of fine, like he's multitasking, so he's trying to loot at the same time he's fighting. The problem is they decided to push very aggressively, so just stick to your decision and your octane.
Do not split.
Your octane, and like I explained before, like you should be the one trying to get info on where that guy is running away, and maybe try to take another angle and have a peek at him.
Did you beat him?
But now he kind of ignore him, and you know they cracked his shield, and maybe if he was here he would have died. So you can see now he's not really using his Q as Octane. Well, that could have been a good
Oh, someone's after us.
position to use it. But anyway, what we can question here as a Platinum game is the decision to push, because they had a really high ground position, very fine, and they decided to push just one random guy who was running around here with no info. And now teams have heard this fight, and they're coming with Bangalore ults and such. And actually, this is a very bad place to get noticed. So
One of the worst, actually.
yeah, so this place is actually terrible to get noticed. You don't want to do that. Basically, I call this the river. So this is like the river near bunker, and this is the most central area in the game. This is the most the place with the least high ground in the game when you're around here. And this is a place where teams can come from here. They can come from here, here, also from the balloon here. They can come from the caverns here. They can come from there. They can
basically from everywhere.
They can come from here, from the desert. From here, from the desert that comes from Skulltown, and from the tunnel that goes here. So basically, when you start a fight here, even if you're like third partying 2 teams, you might get fourth partied and even fifth partied. So if your point is playing ranked and ranking up in platinum, just
especially take into account that 12 squads left.
Yeah, also 12 squads left. And also you can see the ring is here. A lot of teams are going to be rotating from Skulltown, Thunderdome, Airbase maybe, from water treatment potentially. A lot of teams are going to be coming around here. So this is a very bad decision to make. And they haven't really opened the map and made a plan about where they should be going for the last circles. And their loadout is actually very good. They have snipers with scope, they have very good weapons, good shields. They don't have that many healing items, but they could have found more with more efficient looting. So we can assume that the ring is ending at artillery or relay, looking at the ring.
With a high probability, yeah.
Yeah, so they could have just made the decision to rotate there and try to find a good spot to defend, maybe, you know, try to push away teams from this good area. And they have Watson, so obviously this is what we want to do with Watson. But they're just making the decision very random here to push around the river area. And of course I do that in public games as well, but in a ranked game that you want to win, it's just
pretty dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
And now they're in the worst position on the map.
Yeah. And now they're very split, and actually they're very panicking. They know that there's a Bangalore ult from the river. Now there was a Gibraltar ult, and they have no info on, like, they can't see any enemy. They have no idea what's going on. So, and they're still focusing the attention on the solo guy. Like, they're not really expecting what's coming up to them, but you can feel that. You can feel that they're gonna just have some issues here. Also, right now, you know that the circle is closing onto them here, and they're still focusing on the north part of the map. But obviously, teams are gonna come from the tunnel and from the desert here. So this is where you wanna focus your attention. Basically, whenever the circle is closing, and this is a good situation you're in, because you have high ground on teams that are gonna have to cross a very open area. You just make the call for your team to hold this position, and you hold teams off here, and you try to poke them, maybe get a knock, and prevent them from getting safe into the ring.
I would say go towards bunker, so we go inside the bunker with them, or we can go around.
So now basically, okay, let's look at the map. He was opening the map a second ago. Yeah, perfect. So like I said, it was it's probably gonna be an artillery ending, or maybe around here. This is a bit more rare, but it's probably gonna be ending around here. And they landed in containment, and they could have taken, for example, a very good position on this roof here. This would have been a very good position, because if the ring ends here, then you pretty much have a free win if you play it well. But instead, they decided to go in the middle of the map, in the worst position you could ever be. And now they have a very bad position, because they have to rotate either back through here, but they know that there was teams around here.
Again,
through the open, like here is really hard to rotate to. Here as well, if a team is here, it's practically impossible. Or they have to go all the way around here, which maybe would be the best solution if they want to be safe. But then again, there may be a team here or around here. There could be a lot of teams rotating here to connect us. So now they're just, for no reason at all, absolutely no reason, they just put themselves in a really bad position where they could be the team holding people back, other teams coming in the circle, and now they have to go in the circle. So the way you prevent this is is focusing with your team on making a plan.
Yeah, I know. That's why.
You want to make a plan so that you kind of control
They
things.
split.
Right here. You see this?
Yeah, now they
I know.
this like he makes the call to go around here because he doesn't feel safe around there, and I think that's the right call. And now he sees a lifeline care package being dropped here, and he makes the call to surprise them, which is a pretty good call because just because they can surprise them really fast, and if they play it well, it's perfectly fine. The only issue is they're gonna play it very badly. So
They're on the open, so
yeah, the thing is he's attacking before even nading. He has an arc star. I think he has some thermites and stuff.
he has 3 arc star and 2
He
termites.
has 1 arc star. I think maybe
No,
more.
3. 3. It was in the loot. It was 3.
I see only 1 on his
Okay.
on HUD here. But anyway, he has some nades. He should be using them here and then going in. And also he starts shooting at them right out in the open. And
he's alone right now.
and he's alone. So as you can see,
Keep track.
also he swaps from his havoc. Although he hasn't used that many bullets, but he starts swapping to his longbow, and longbow is obviously not the best weapon for this situation. And now he's just gonna get knocked instantly
Oh my god, they're so weak. They're so
because
weak.
the whole team is on him.
Thank you. Oh god, I got grenades.
And then unfortunately, I mean, they win the fight, but he got knocked and he hasn't done much. Like his team, he distracted the enemy team, but he shouldn't have died here. It would have been an instant wipe if they just naded and attacked afterwards. And then,
Absolutely.
so the problem is not the third party here. This is not the issue. The issue is the first fight that they didn't handle well enough so that they can handle the third party afterwards.
So they should nade, then they should together simultaneously
Yeah.
attack.
Yeah, I
So they
mean,
have like 90% of the winning because they wasn't expecting them.
yeah, exactly. I mean, this team that they attacked, like that was the right call. They had the surprise on them. They have nades. They have good weapons. They're very close, so they don't even have to push. It's just happening right now. It's just the way they take the fight. They're not coordinated. They should all nade at the same time and then push, and that would have been a very easy wipe. And then they could have just probably taken that third party, because then they have high ground and they have a good position. They could have probably taken the third party as well, but because he's down and his teammates are like, yeah, they're struggling now very badly, so they're just gonna die for this.
Just because of one mistake, actually.
Just because of not pushing that team properly. And I mean, if you go back to the beginning of the game, like I said, it was mainly the rotation. So going,
I think actually 2 main mistakes: the team communication
yeah,
and the rotation. I think these 2
yeah,
are the main.
yeah, definitely. Like the team communication problem was he kind of freaked out when he saw the team here. He made a very urgent call in his voice. Like he was like, oh, there's a team here. But there was no rush because he was not spotted. So he should have just said something very like more calm, so his team is not scared, and just said, oh, team very close, and nade them instantly, and then all your team nades them, and then you can push. But the main mistake here was definitely the rotation, so landing from containment, and then they have the information that the circle is like this, and they go this way, and this makes no sense, obviously. So
in the worst position on the map, so
yeah,
definitely.
This was definitely the main mistake. And if you're looking to rank up in Platinum, this is what you're going to have to think about. So rotations and positioning. Actually, the other day, I was playing with a guy who was level 20 in the game. He only played Bangalore for a few games, and he doesn't even know what other legends do. And we were playing in Platinum 2, and we were playing public games, just having fun, but he was the party leader, and he made the mistake, and he threw us into a Platinum 2 game. And actually we were only 2 people because the third guy just died and disconnected. And
Really funny.
so it was just him and me, and we actually won the game just because of good positioning. And he was really happy about it. I can tell you.
Yeah, for sure. The position is, well, I think, because a lot of people think that aim is the most important, but it's not.
No, it's not.
Especially higher ranks are, the less important it is.
Yeah.
Well, definitely it's really important. If you couldn't aim, well, you couldn't win at all.
Yeah.
But it's kind of basic skills.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. Positioning is the most important. Yeah.
True. Thank you, Gary. It was really interesting.
No problem.
I loved it a lot.
I went a bit ahead of time, but
I really hope the guy won't be really unhappy about us doing review with him.
I will send him a message or something.
It's kind of just an education approach. So I hope he liked it. Actually, yes, send it to him and just if you do not like, we can cut it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So what I also would like to tell today is about our course. Actually, we will be having the next course on 25th of August, and we will be doing some really good discount for the newcomers. But I will announce it a bit later on. So can you move on to the next slide?
There you go.
Well, yeah, definitely, guys. First of all, we would be happy to see you on our Discord channel. Even though we will be moving to the new one soon, but nevertheless, we can do the video reviews of your games. So you're absolutely free to send it to us either through any social media or within the Discord channel. It's just up to you how it would be more convenient. Just send it to us. We need just the link, better of the full recording of the gameplay, so we will make the review. Each Tuesdays on 8 p.m. Central European time or 2 p.m. North America time, so we can do the reviews of your games, and definitely it would be saved.
And please, please don't hesitate if you're diamond or if you're a complete beginner in the game. I will just adapt to whatever skills you have and give the advice that you might need. So yeah, just any level. It doesn't matter if you're a complete beginner, if you're bronze, silver, gold, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, absolutely. And definitely, yes, we would be happy to see you during our streams. Feel free to ask any questions. In this Friday, we will have also the event. We will do the contest with the prize pool. So we will also put some announcement there. So it would be 9 p.m. Central European time, 3 p.m. North America time. So you are free to join us. It would be 1 hour kill race event. So also streaming through the Twitch, we'll be looking through the eyes of the players, give some feedback, and make a lot of fun. Also play some music.
Yeah.
Hope this time as well. Yeah.
Sure.
So we would be glad to see you. Join our Discord, follow us on Twitch, and we'll see you again pretty soon. And thank you for watching. See you next time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.